Do your neighbors judge you when you run around like a madman to the mailbox? Are you spending the last of your paycheck on a book of stamps? Do you find yourself printing form letters at 3 o'clock in the morning? Well, welcome to Autographers Anonymous.
Welcome to Autographers Anonymous, a place where we can discuss our addiction to the greatest hobby in the world. Here are your hosts, Andy Summers, TTM Troy, Chasing Inc., Mike the Godfather, and yours truly, Zane Savage. Let's start off with TTMs of the week, and we picked a nice winner here. We have Taylor with the TTM of Donald Holmquist. Donald Holmquist, he is an astronaut. Pretty rare thing to get back. I think he only had 5 returns on Star Tiger, so you can see that here. So thank you for entering, Taylor. You won this show this week, and you'll be entered to win the grand prize. I want to remind everybody what that includes. That includes a autograph from Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nolan Ryan, Joe Namath, Sally Ride, Jim Irwin, Daniel Radcliffe, Bryan Cranston, and Bart Starr. So if you're interested in winning those, please send your entries in. Remember, the TTM must fall in between the 2 weeks in between the shows. And if you win 1 week, you can't enter the next show. You have to take one show off, and then you can enter again. Those are the rules. Let's go ahead and move on to returns. Mikey.
Okie dokie. Got a few things in. One purchase that I can't show you. All I can show you is this. I don't know if you can read that address.
Hank Aaron?
That is Hank Aaron. This is a TTM from 1983. Actually, 3 cards. Got a smoking deal because I did my research and I thought they were good enough to buy. And they've already gone off to our friend Garrett over at Slab City. So we will see if I can get a big return on my investment.
Nice.
So that was my purchase. Let's go on to returns. Had a nice week. Jumped on the Harold Baines train. Nice
Awesome.
Rangers card for Mr. Chasing Inc. down there.
Is he not doing inscriptions, TTM?
Yeah. I think if you include a donation, he'll put the Hall of Fame. I did not. He signed 2. Found a couple old Mariners cards. Danny the Bull, Tartable. I always loved the rated rookies, but in his Mariners uniform, so that's pretty awesome. The old school Mariners. And this one I was super excited about. Pete Yokovich, and it has, let's see, it's signed in pen. You can barely see it if it focuses. And it has nothing to do with his playing career. I think he won the Cy Young, had a decent career, but I could care less. What I got it for is he played Clu Haywood in the Major League movies. So he is a notorious, horrible signer. He hates autographs. Like, he will throw your stuff away and you'll never see it again. So,
Not peace.
yeah, definitely. So I was stoked to get that. Actually got another tough signer because he doesn't sign these days. Coach Lou Holtz. Signed 1 and 2.
Fun fact, I actually bought a bunch of Lou Holtz autographs about 5 years ago because I'm like, man, he's super old. He can't last that long. These are going to go up in price real soon. Yeah, he's still kicking, guys.
Yeah, still kicking. Actually lives down here in Orlando, so played the local card on him. This was a retry. Found these old photos from 2018. This is Colonel Rob Parga, WCW manager back there. Cool shot with Vader and Sid. Also played Tennessee Lee, manager for Jeff Jarrett. And here's a Colonel Rob Parker with a haired Steve Austin. You don't see that very often.
Nice.
Signing 1 of 3. This was also from 2018. This was just out a long time. Lily James signed the Cinderella. I was trying to get her on Downtown Abbey. Did not sign that one, but that's all right. This one, found some old cards, been sending cards out. Uncle Ted, Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. This one looks a lot better. And I sent this one. I am the least political person there is, but I know people will buy this. So this one will go for autographs for Akir. Again, no political comments, but sometimes you got to look that way because that stuff sells.
Yep.
Last one that I got in, this was a private address and also a retry. Found these photos in an old box from 2018. If you guys ever play online poker or watch World Series of Poker, Chris Moneymaker. Sign that one. Sign that one. That one. And he agreed to sign some 8x10s if I want to send to him. Again, this is just the RSVP card. If they wish to sign, if they want to make a donation, or they can, respectfully decline. And then I ask him to sign it, so get another autograph out of it.
Matt Beast.
Yeah.
Yep, my face.
That is it for my returns. On to Troy.
All right. Well, I had an okay couple of weeks here. So first off, well, actually there's two pretty long returns. So I got 2 of 2 from Joe Oliver. And we need Archer to say for the set or something, but he's not around. But these were 862 days. So don't know where those were hanging out. And then a rare, you can barely see it on here, Buck Williams, a rare for me, basketball, the set. That was 800 days. So 2 800+ days makes you go, huh. And then let's just skip to these. Harold Baines, these were actually sent 400 and 100 days ago. So these were old returns, different pens there, one black and one blue.
The guys are running it. Like their pens are running out because they're signing so much.
Yeah, really. And then just a few oddities. So I got Turk Wendell on these next 2 cards are ones that Zombie Collector on YouTube had sent me.
Did he color the corner?
No.
Turk Wendell, that's what he's notorious. He always colors the lower right-hand corner.
Check the back corner too.
Really?
Yeah. He colors them in.
No. Interesting. I did not know that.
Yes. He's an oddball guy, so that's what he does.
Jake Westbrook signed his pre-signed card. He has kind of a cool signature there, kind of all on a line.
Johnny Damon a little bit.
Brett Barbary. I don't know him from anybody, really.
Yeah, I know. That's when I grew up, was that time, and I don't remember him playing.
Yeah, he was like,
I had him in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with Brett.
Oh, really?
Okay.
That's cool.
If he got 150 at bats, yeah, he was lucky. Right.
I sent in number 2 with a donation to Dick Perez to sign his Willie Stargell piece, since I can't get Willie Stargell to sign it.
And on the topic of Dick Perez, I checked out his website. He's got very decent priced artwork you can get from Dick, original artwork. And he's getting up there in age, so that would be a pretty good investment if you guys are looking for something to buy, hang on your wall, especially if like one of your favorite players. He has a lot of Hall of Famers, some modern, but mostly Hall of Famers. You know, he's the guy that did the Perez Steel cards, half of the team.
Diamond Kings.
Right.
Like, that's some great stuff. If you guys can get original art from him, I think 200, I saw some for 200, and I think some are even cheaper, like pencil sketches. So just a recommendation if you're looking to invest some money into something. That's something pretty solid.
And like I said, I sent $5 because I had just sent to him, and I forgot about that card. So
yeah,
he took the money. So.
He's a good guy.
And then some basketball. These are 1990 Fleers that I picked up at Nationals for the heck of it. So Mark Eaton, Dan Majorly, 2-2. Another Harold Presley, Joe Klein.
Those signatures pop pretty well on that white.
Yeah, it's a pretty good series, but I bought a whole box and the tons of dupes, so I didn't even see how many cards were in the set. But
They used to
there can't be
sort
that
cards like back in the
Yeah.
day. They used to do cards very weird. Like you get a bunch. If you bought a box, it was like half the set and like all dupes. It was
Mhm.
weird like that.
And then final one, Michael Gaminsky. I think this one came in today, so or these two. So
Cool.
So getting some basketball in. I have to make a new thing on the website because I don't really have a basketball tab because I never did basketball before.
What is your website?
You can find that at the end of the show.
Okay.
How about that?
So 3 hours from now, you guys will find it.
There you go. Where should we go? Should we go down to Andy?
Go for it.
Me? Sure. Let's go for it.
Or you want to do rock, paper, scissors with Chase? Or
No, I already called it. I'm going.
oh, okay.
All right. So I found a new private address for the honky tonk man, but unfortunately he sent back saying he's charging $5 per signature now, which I've gone him in the past, but I guess he wants his $5 now, which is I probably will be sending those back to him. Next, I got a Magic the Gathering card of Miss Carol Haler. She signed 1 of 1, and she sent me a nice little note back thanking me for my ever so kind words. Next, NBA Hall of Famer. Again, it's a private address that I just came upon. Mr. Jerry West signed 2 of 2.
Nice. The logo.
Yes, which I was really surprised that. I know he used to sign back in the day, so it was a nice surprise to see that he's back signing, if you can find him. Next, for the Godfather down there, 1980 USA hockey player, Dave Silk signed my puck, which the Sharpie was off and on, so it came out kind of crappy. But
should have sent a paint pen.
I'm an idiot. Yes, I know. But that was an old RTS, and I sent it back out to him, and I didn't realize he lived in Massachusetts because he doesn't do any appearances around here, which I thought he would, but he doesn't.
Okay.
Right. Next, everyone's favorite, Rafael Palmero signed 2 of 2. Jump on that because he's signing for everyone who sends to him.
Is he still playing in the minors? I saw he was playing for a minor league team there for a while.
He played for like half the season last year.
He wanted to play for his son. His son was on the team.
Gotcha. Okay.
I actually got him there too. I'm just showing this. I got Mickey Lopez. I'm just putting that because he sent the business card because he's a real estate agent now. Or actually, he's a global real estate advisor. Sorry. Fancy term for him. 1968 rookies, Bill Davis. I found an old box of old cards, and I said, screw it up, just get these out. Next, AAF card, Nick Novick, the kicker. And this guy I had sent to about 5 times, getting RTSs, and I finally came through. JT O'Sullivan, he's quarterback for the 49ers. Next, Tom Bernansky, who's always been a great signer. And I ended up getting 7 cards back. Nice little stack of them. Plus my RTS, I sent to him twice, about a year apart. And I guess he saw that the same letter and same envelope. So he sent them back, sent my safes back. So I saved one.
Nice.
Plus 50 cents. Yeah. I appreciate it, Alex Trevino signed 3 of 3. Those were out a couple of years. 49er Chris Borland, who is notorious. He played 1 year and then retired because he was afraid of future head trauma. And now he's a motivated speaker about that. Everyone's favorite baseball player, Stu Pepper, who's not really a baseball player. He's actually an attorney who played in the senior league. And this took a little bit of time to find him, and I found his law firm, so I sent it there. And
I thought you were going to say it took time to get back. I'm like, what's he doing? Like,
well, here's the deal. I sent him 3 cards. He sent me 1. Little,
he's got to keep some for himself.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's probably like, I've never seen these before.
Yeah. Next, shown the Wongons came in. Nice. Juan Gonzalez with his new signature.
Now, did you prep those finest cards?
No, I actually rolled the dice on that. Look how shiny,
yeah,
you can see it.
What's prepping? What's prepping?
I said screw it. I just threw it in because that's how lazy I am. Next, I got an RTS before because he moved in Florida. Jim Palmer with the donation, signed the Hall of Fame card. He moved out of his house into an apartment down there. Okay, don't have to do those. Jose Cruz, again, got them both on the same day. He sent 6 cards back, but on 2 different self-addressed stamped envelopes. So he didn't pull the Bernansky and send me back. He just threw them in each one.
You think that's the difference of like guys reading letters and guys not reading letters?
Yeah, he probably just signed it through.
He didn't read those letters. He just signed it and threw it in.
Totally.
Yeah. A couple more here. Mike Sims. This was out about 3 years. Chase, I don't know if this is a dupe. I don't know if you need them for your set.
I think I do. I'll have to check and see.
Let me know. Steven Bender, Bendar. Sorry, he played young Superman in the Superman Returns movie. That's him running along. And 2 more. Business card from Tori Bruno, who is the CEO of United Launch Alliance. Sent me a business card. They're doing the reusable rockets too, but the best thing is, this is why I love it. He sent me a coin, a mission success, 1 launch at a time.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
I got the envelope. It was heavy, and I was like, "What the hell is in here?" And yeah.
So that got through the mail in a 1 stamper?
Yeah.
Wow.
It thing weighs a good amount.
And
And
you get a postage due stamp on that?
no.
You're lucky you didn't get eaten by the machine, man.
And the last one, I got to thank Chase for this one. I got one of my play drawings back. That's on the cardboard comic book from Dick Vermeil. I asked him to put his favorite play, and apparently
that's cool. Yeah.
Trips right, ace right, 839 F flat is his favorite play.
The classic.
Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, this is why I suck at Madden, because I can't read any of this. I just click on a button and say I'm running this. But thanks again, Chase. This came in perfect, except I sent it in the sleeve, and he didn't return it because I wanted to store in it. But I guess he wanted to keep it for himself.
You can get it matted.
I have about 12 of them out right now, so that's the first one that came back. So
Gotcha.
I got to figure out what I'm going to do with them now. But yeah, that's it, and I'll pass it off to Chase.
All right, I'll start off with, I took some of my private signings advice or off of Facebook. Again, just go to Facebook, baseball private signings. I got Ben McDonald for the set. Let's see. Got Texas Ranger Jose Canseco, because that's what he's famous for, is being with the Rangers, right?
One of 15 teams.
How much was the Canseco private?
$10. Same as T. And then I got that one.
He's signing for cheap, man. He must be in trouble with legal fees or something.
And then I got Mitch Williams.
Nice.
Which I didn't realize that they were going to do it, but on the back of the card, he put his personal little COA, I guess.
Mitch Williams has a personal sticker? Wow.
Yeah. And
Good
this
job,
one,
Mitch.
I didn't pay for it, but he wrote Wild Thing on the bottom, so that was extra little bonus. And again, they get the little
Mitch
personal.
Williams and Nolan Ryan, guys.
Let's see. I got former All-American Girl Pro Baseball player Joan Berger.
Not many of them left.
And then she sent a little postcard that she signed. So, yeah, if you're wanting to do that, start that. Well, you're late, but yeah, there's been
a lot of successes lately from them.
Yeah,
there's like one guy that's been doing a lot of them, and he keeps.
I've been going back through
signing.
tracking down anybody who's still living that I don't have yet. Trying to find their addresses.
Well, I mean, you think about it, that was during the war, right? So it's
Right.
about the same on WW2 veterans, which, it's just few and far between these days.
And
Some
then
ratio.
got some NASA returns. This is Rich Clifford. So again, photo and then logo. We got Bob Stewart. And then we have Greg Johnson. That one kind of smeared a little in the envelope on the back of this one, but
So you're doing still glossy photos? You haven't gone matte?
no, I've started it, and then might as well stick with it for the same
Okay,
same
gotcha.
collection.
Gotcha. You don't want to change to make it look different.
John Phillips. Yeah, we went into a little NASA kick, me and my son. Scott Altman. These are all his, by the way.
Between you and Mike, I can't believe there's this many astronauts I've never heard of.
I looked up on because everyone I got back, I tagged on Star Tiger on my NASA list, and I've gotten 63 returns so far.
Dang.
Michael Coates, and then Jiri Leininger, I think is how you pronounce it. And then this one, he signed sideways. And then we got onto the baseball. We got that card that might look familiar. I think you just saw it a little earlier from Mike there. Had to get my Ranger. Got Bill Wegman. Got Jeff Kunkel. And then he threw in some of his little testimonial cards. Rick Honeycutt from a private address I found. Brad Arnsberg.
The old Oklahoma City 89ers.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Rick
I worked
Cerrone.
for. They changed over to the Red Hawks this season. I started working for them.
Yeah.
Probably a good choice.
Paul Mirabella, 3.
Hey, Chase, you've been busy.
Dwayne Walker.
So I got to step up my game.
Yeah, man.
And then this one I got thanks to Andy Summers there. Oh, I'm dropping him. Drew Stubbs. Let's see. We got Rich Bordy. He signed 4. Here's 2.
You're not only getting you're getting multiples from people. You're getting a good quantity there too.
This one here, I sent off 4 and he only returned 3. So you had to say it. That was
how that's
Jim
rude.
That's
That's just
that one must have he must have dropped it or something because he was signing for everybody and I don't
Maybe
know.
like the card.
Yeah. He always signs everything you send to him.
Dave Schmidt, he's usually takes forever. Got these back pretty quick. I think it was 10 days or so. Got Fernando Valenzuela rookie signed, but not by Fernando Valenzuela. It's Jack. I think it's Conti. I don't know.
Fernando used to sign great back
He
in the
was
day.
a great signer, and then it just stopped.
No, it's pretty pricey. His stuff is, isn't it? From what I've seen, his prices have gone up like crazy.
Well, he was going to do that Chicago show, I think, in beginning of the year before it got canceled. And it was his first signing outside of LA in 15 years.
That's crazy.
And the last
And it was
one,
huge money for him,
Dan
too.
Fouts.
Is that it?
Yep, that was it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Wait, my bad. I got one more. I forgot. I did forget this one.
Gosh dang it, Chase.
Jason Momoa. I had these sitting in a different pile. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman.
Those look nice.
And then Game of Thrones.
Nice.
So, yeah, now I'm done. My bad.
Okay. Well, I guess it's my turn. No TTMs, obviously, but I do have some purchases to show you. Did some mats. So this is famous American Emily Post. She did the etiquette books and she did columns in the newspaper. Very famous woman. This is Ed Sullivan. actually matted it with a picture of him and all the Beatles there. So there's that. Pick this up just to flip, basically, because I got it for cheap. It's a Burger's Best. This is Cy Burger, I guess, picked his favorite cards, and they did an autograph series of it, and it's numbered out of 25. So it's just Bo Jackson. But got that for a real good price. Just gonna flip it for a profit. Got this in Sculpty. Signed right here to Dan. Try to tilt this in a way you guys can actually see it, but sign right there. Which his signature is not worth as much as I thought it would be. I guess he signed a ton in the last few years. This is actually a book called Japanese American Family Album, and it's signed by the person that did the introduction, which is sometimes happens, but it's quite rare. It's signed by George Takei. With a little Star Trek kick. So, oh my.
Yeah, he's gotten real popular on Facebook.
So we signed it. Let's keep researching for the highest star. Next up, we got two legends. Actually, these are the last ones. So, this is Arthur Ashe, signed The Hard Road to Glory, and signed to, I think, Emerson. What it says there. So, real nice signature there. Tennis legend.
Now, is that worth more as a cut or in that book?
So his signature is actually one that is very sporadic and forged a lot. So you have to weigh that option of, do I mat it and trust the signature is going to, prove authenticity itself? I may leave the inscription in because that adds evidence. Or do I leave it in the book with the inscription, which is more likely to be authentic? Like, people do weigh that stuff out sometimes. So I'm probably going to do a mat and just leave part of the inscription in. That's probably what I'll do. But I haven't decided fully yet. The last one is The French Chef Cookbook by Julia Child. It's signed right there. So that's a few things I got in. The next episode that we do should be crazy for me because I've bought a ton of stuff. So look forward to that.
Just a note, Zane. James Doohan hasn't signed much in the last 15 years, not the last couple of years. So
No, I said the last couple of years of his life.
Oh, no,
yeah,
you just said a couple of years.
I know he's passed away. But it seems like there's a lot of he had two different signatures. He had his full signature back when he was in Star Trek, and a few years decades after. And then near the end it's kind of scratchy.
Yeah, he was doing cons before cons were really popular.
Right.
He was doing cons before they were con.
Well, guys, let's move on to Market Watch, and Mike has that.
All right, Market Report. This week, I took a look at how TV shows affect autographs, mainly because the big hype has been around the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, and The Last Dance. It has caused an explosion in the memorabilia industry. Michael Jordan stuff was always pricey. One of the greatest basketball players of all time. Could be the greatest ever, depending on who you're talking to. But anyways, his prices have always been up there. But for some reason, his stuff is through the roof with this TV show. You're looking at 8x10s, and with Michael Jordan, you want to buy Upper Deck. If you're going to buy something that is Upper Deck authenticated, because he has I wouldn't say exclusive, but 98% of his stuff should say Upper Deck on it.
Also, I just want to throw in there, if you buy PSA, be careful. People do fake PSA stickers, and if they're going to fake it on anything, this is probably the thing they're going to fake it on. So that's another good reason to buy UDA.
Yeah. So I pulled Michael Jordan 8x10s. You're looking at $2,000 for, a basic Bulls 23 photograph here. UDA, there's the Upper Deck authenticated, $2,000. Of course, the last shot. If you got something iconic, you might be paying a little more. Here's Michael Jordan autograph signed 8x10 doesn't say anything about certification, but it's, you know, the famous dunk shot. Somebody paid 12 grand for it, or 1,200. So, but it's not just photos. If you're looking for Michael Jordan basketball, again, prices have skyrocketed.
Wow.
Always pricey, but I think you got them for $900 before this. Now you're looking
Double your money.
of $2,400.
Mm-hmm. That silver is a premium on that too. Like on basketballs, silver Sharpie. That's everybody wants silver Sharpie, as long as it's a clean signature. That's what they want. Or is it paint pen? I can't tell. It might be paint pen.
Can't tell on that one, but you know, the difference between these two balls, a Nike basketball, or, you know, this is like comparing a official Major League Baseball to, you know, one of the Rawlings official balls.
Right.
You know, people want to pay a premium for an official NBA spalling basketball. So,
right.
Not just basketballs and photos, but jerseys. Jerseys have really hit a premium with Jordan. Again, always be careful, just because it says PSA. And you can run the PSA number, and it may come up as a Jordan jersey, but just be very careful, because there are a lot of third-party authenticator fakes out there. So
this is the one I've seen the most fakes of. There's marketplaces that I surf through that have a ton of fakes, and this is the one. Jordan jerseys all day long, $200, $300. Like they sell like multiples a day. So
yeah,
like this market is flooded with fakes.
And these are the ones that just popped up, but these aren't even the nice frame jobs. You know, I've seen some of the, you know, $500 frame jobs where you have it nicely matted with additional photos. Those go for a premium. These are just jerseys thrown in a shadow box basically, and still fetching, you know, $5,000. So with The Last Dance, you know, Jordan stuff has skyrocketed, but it's not just Jordan. How many people heard of Joe Exotic before?
Hey, I told you, a few shows back.
I know, and I listen. So nobody's heard of Joe Exotic except like maybe a few wrestling people. He had a presidential run. It was short-lived, but you probably could have picked up his autograph for pennies on the dollar if they were even out there. Now people are writing to him in prison and getting $400 for that. And it's not just him. Carol and Howard sign exclusive cards, and those sold out in a matter of minutes. And now they're being resold for hundreds of dollars. Look at that. Garbage.
Yep.
From what I hear, Joe is still signing some, but some of the stuff is going through his agent, and they're limiting what can get to him now. So this ship might have sailed. But again, this drives the market. A show like that, people are paying hundreds of dollars for that. Now you take a show like Seinfeld that has not been on the air for 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
One of the greatest shows ever. You can get a Jerry Seinfeld autograph JSA for $100. Let's go back here. Getting $100.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's dual signed. Come on.
And it's from your favorite cool cats and cool kittens.
And let's be honest. How much time does Howard have left?
I'm surprised he made it this far with her.
But just people are out of their mind. They're paying $100 for this Carol Baskin card. Her 15 minutes of fame has not expired yet, but you could have a PSA, JSA, Jerry Seinfeld, one of the greatest comics, or a Jerry Stiller, a Soup Nazi. You could almost
Stiller is inflated because he usually goes for 15, but he just passed away. That's why that's so high.
You could almost have the entire lot of Seinfeld people shown for the price of a Carol Baskin autograph.
Yeah, but didn't you hear Carol Baskin just took over Joe Exotic's old zoo? She stole it from the other guy that took it from Joe Exotic. So,
Well, because Joe owes her millions of dollars, but whatever. Same thing. MASH, one of the longest running shows on television history, had one of the highest rated finales ever. You can pick up a Jamie Farr for 8x10 for $25. He's a fantastic TTM signer.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the show has not been on forever, but just goes to show something that's in the news.
You gotta spike it. You gotta get that.
$100. It's the window, you know. So just pulled some MASH stuff because I remember that being on television. Mike Farrell, also a great signer. Alan Alda will sign one. And last, sometimes the news is not always good. Ruby Rose, who was starring in the, I think it was WB Batwoman series, decided to up and just leave the series, and she's not going to be recast, and her prices show it. You can pick up $6, $8.50, $6. So just because they're in the news doesn't always mean good news.
Right.
There's one for $45, but you know, it is what it is. So the news, keep an eye on it. If you're buying, maybe if something's hot, it's not a good time to buy. But if you're a seller, jump on it.
Yeah, and if you can predict what's going to be hot, that's where the real money is. If you see something coming out and you think, oh, this is going to be big, and before it comes out, grab it before it's hot. And then if you're a seller, that's where the money is.
The Mandalorian, you know, if you got on that with like Gina Carano before everything exploded.
Yep.
I'm going to predict the next one's going to be Artemis Fowl.
There you go.
I'll go get some stuff from him.
I think that one's coming on Disney Plus. I think it is.
It's kind of the same idea as the stock market a little bit. You just got to predict where things are going and invest where you think the things are going. We're going to move on to the Via Venue report with Chase. What you got?
All right. Well, I looked. Everything other than 2 cons have been canceled in June. So these will probably be canceled as well, but I'll go ahead and tell you about them. Weekend of June 20th and 21st, Washington State Summer Con is still going. So if you're in that area, you can check that one out. And June 25th through the 27th, Gateway Stargate Con is still going as well. I didn't write down where that one is, but it'll probably be canceled. But so definitely go to the private signings. There's a bunch of private signings. I just saw 2 today that were that they need, either you can purchase them or send in your items. The first one, they need them by June 11th. It was Alicia Silverstone, $70. That's your item or theirs, either way. And the one that I was kind of surprised about, and this one, it needs it by June 15th, is Dave Bautista, who was Drax and a wrestler. I don't follow wrestling, so I don't know who he was in wrestling, but yeah, his are $99 a piece.
He was Bautista in wrestling.
Oh, was he?
Original name. Well. I think it was spelled differently though. So yeah, that's really cool. Like if I was doing that, I would 100% send something unique that would never have the chance to light of day to get signed by that person, unless you were an IP or maybe. Because if you're going to spend that money, I think having something crazy unique would definitely be worth it. Especially Tim Curry. I was thinking about Tim Curry. He signed. We talked about that on the last show.
You can get creative in July, I think. So
yeah, you can get creative with that. You could send something in really cool because he's been in a lot of cool stuff.
A giant balloon.
Yeah, giant balloon. Well, I don't know about that. Okay. Well, thanks for the Via Venue report. We're going to move on to the topic for today, which is eBay buying. Just in general, some of the rules that we abide by, some of the recommendations we have, and how to stay away from fakes, which, you know, obviously is probably the biggest problem in our hobby, is forgeries. And you don't want any in your collection. I guarantee you every single person on this chat has a forgery in their collection. It's part of the hobby, but we want to limit that as much as possible. So the first subtopic for that is user history. So this is what I stress because I'm an eBay seller, and I hate paper COAs. I think they're garbage. Obviously, there's a large segment of the population that will live by them, but I stress research your seller, research what they've sold, their history, their feedback, and that they should have a good guarantee on the item. So obviously feedback is a little less important as it used to be. What do you guys do when it comes to researching a seller? Like, how do you go about that? Anybody?
I do the same thing. Like I was a little hesitant on like those Barry Bonds that I bought a couple months ago. One was from a really low feedback person, but it was a PSA or JSA in caps,
Right.
encased or whatever.
Right.
And so I was like, that one's okay, but there were also people trying to sell, Ken Griffey Juniors for $20 that had low feedback that weren't authenticated. So
Right.
I think, even though eBay is how old, I think there's always going to be new people coming.
Right.
Like maybe their dad or uncle had a big collection and they're just trying to
Clear it
out. But, definitely authenticated and slabbed stuff would be, especially for the higher end stuff, if you want to take a chance on a $3 whatever, that's one thing, but feedback is really important. And I've passed on some things just because it looks good, but where did this person all of a sudden get all of these when they're usually selling cookbooks or something?
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to say is check out what else they're selling. Because, I mean, it could be somebody who, sells other things, and then all of a sudden they get some cards that they're selling for someone else or something like that. But if you look and they're selling 300 different cards and they're all signed in blue Sharpie, that's kind of a question, because if you're getting things TTM or if you're getting things in person, they're not always going to be signing with a blue Sharpie.
Yeah.
So that's always a flag right there. If everything is perfect in a blue Sharpie, hard to get people,
And you have that gut feeling sometimes. It's like, this is a little off. And okay, that may happen on one signature, but if you go through their stuff and you get that feeling on like 80% of their stuff, it's almost guaranteed that person's a forger. Like, especially if you've been in the hobby for a while, that feeling can be trusted, especially if you take a large swath of their stuff to go by.
I think if you take time to click on an auction, you got to take time to click on who's selling it and, also what they're selling. It's not just, oh, I want to buy this, I click on this and buy it. Know who you're buying from as much as possible, and not just on eBay. That's true for any Facebook forum too. Know who you're buying from. If it's a brand new user, use a little caution.
And know that if they are selling only sports, that one item you're selling, and they have it at a very low price that they could get more for, and they specialize in that one industry that they're selling, it's not a good sign. Now, if, like you said, if they're selling like a few sports cards and antiques, then it's more likely that they just don't know how much the item's worth, and they're selling it for that good price because they're just trying to get rid of it, and they're just not trying to maximize. So that's another thing to look for. If it's too good to be true, it usually is.
Yeah. What I actually do is, there's a guy that I started doing business with. I actually bought a lot from him, but in the beginning, I went to his store and looked at all the cards he was signing that were signed, and I was looking for guys that sign TTM that I actually know what their autographs actually look like.
Right.
And went, oh yeah, these are TTM ones. They match right on exactly. Then, like you said, you can look at the pen color, and if a lot of the letters kind of look the same or not, like, is he actually signing them? And you kind of get into that habit. But this guy had so many signed cards that it was impossible that he could have done them.
You're judging by TTMs.
Yes, I am.
Every TTM
if you really
is
must
fake.
know, because I'm a TTM expert when they come in. Ew. But that's how I usually judge guys.
Right.
If their stuff
You
is
can
legitimate.
you can look at their past sales too, if it's been within a certain time frame, and look at what people have bought from them. If they're selling nothing but Mike Trout autographs for $25, that throws a red flag. But if it's a Mike Trout and other stuff, that's not as bad. But if you're a forger, what's going to sell.
Yeah, and you're going to price it low to get rid of it fast.
Right.
So That price matters too. And I would actually, if they were going to do one thing, looking at their past history is the most important thing. Feedback can be brought down by bad shippers. You know, this guy may ship in a PWE, and when you paid for, you know, tracking, like there's stuff they can do to bring down their rating that doesn't have to do with the authenticity. So, and you can take your risk based on that, but it doesn't really have to do with authenticity. So, yeah, definitely research what they are selling beyond what you're buying.
And I this might be controversial, we'll see, but I have done the PSA quick opinion thing a couple times, and even though they say 48 hours, it's like exceeded the auction time like 2 out of the 3 times, so I couldn't even buy it.
Right. Was that during
Did you
COVID?
get
Though?
money back?
No, this was before that, and so I won't even spend money on the PSA quick opinion, and you know, it's either authenticated or not.
I see a lot of people using Facebook forums for that. You know, they'll go in there, what do you guys think about this? And they'll post something to think about buying it. So that if you're going to spend a lot of money on something, that's another good choice, to go into a Facebook forum and throw it up there. You're going to get goofballs that say everything's fake. That's what you're going to get in Facebook forums. But you can at least take a chance with the number of people that respond and how many people are saying certain thing. If everybody says it's fake, it's probably fake.
And you might get someone stealing it from out from under you too.
That's true. That is true. You're taking a chance there. But if it's something that's not hot, if it's something that's just you need something for your set or something like that, it's a lot safer to do that. But if it's like a Jordan or something,
hey guys, what do you think about this one? Oh, everybody's gonna say, oh, it's bad, and the next thing you know, all these people are bidding on it.
So you're saying everybody's like it's like a group plan to screw you over? No, I don't think that's.
I've heard some stories about third-party authenticators doing that with the quick review. They'll be like, no, this is fake, and then it magically gets bought.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's happening. That's nuts. I'd like to see some proof on that. That's crazy, and who it was. But we'll talk about that some other time. Me and you, maybe. So let's move on to the next one, which is COAs. And I already voiced my opinion on this. I think paper COAs are garbage. I think they're just things to make people that buy things feel good. Like, that mean nothing. And if it doesn't come with a guarantee, it doesn't have to be on a piece of paper. If they guarantee something in the listing, it's usually pretty solid. So that's what I do with my stuff. I guarantee stuff. If anything's denied by a major authenticator, then you can send it back. I'll pay for the shipping. You know, that's the deal. If they don't have at least that for a certain time period, then that's an added risk. But paper COAs are basically garbage. That's my opinion. What do you guys think?
Oh, I totally agree with that, because anyone can print off the COA. And I remember when I used to beginning to go to the card shows back in '91, there was a guy there had crap load of signed everything. And I remember, you know, I was gullible. I was like 13 years old. And he goes, oh yeah, these are all real. Here's my COAs. He goes, usually these don't mean anything, but I think you think they're real. So here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, look, it's legit. And to this day, all those I know is junk.
Yep.
And I was just the gullible kid. And I still have his COA someplace, just laughing at him like I was an idiot back then. Because he admitted that these mean nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it appeals to people that just want to hang something on their wall and they don't care. And it has a COA, so they're happy with it. That's what it appeals to. Nobody else.
This is what I did. Like, it's complete junk.
Yep.
But to be able to sell something, if I posted this, it's a Howie Long minus anything. The very first question I get from non-collectors, does it have a COA?
Right.
But if I put that little sticker on there, all it says is autographs for a cure certified, and it's got a random number that I can track.
Right.
And a little card with the same number.
Right.
Collectors don't give two craps about that.
Nope.
But Joe Q public that wants to buy a Howie Long autograph, they'll jump on that just because it comes with that. But that's I had to do that because the number one question I always got, and I'll sell stuff. People have been great about buying stuff from Autographs for a Cure, and most of them are collectors and they don't question it. But I I moved to an eBay store just so I can reach more customers,
Right.
and those customers are not collectors,
Right.
at least most of them.
Right.
And everyone is like, if I didn't post a COA, well, does it come with one? So I made one up. It's garbage, but
Yep. I
you
do
gotta
too.
have
I
it
have
if you're
one too.
selling.
I have one that I don't send out and let because I'm hard on that. I'm like, you need, because I'm talking to collectors most of the time. I'm like, you need to trust the seller and guarantees, not a piece of paper. So I do not send one with everything, but I do have in every single listing. If you request a COA, I will send one. So I also send out garbage COAs, but it's specifically because people will hassle you till no end, like you said, until you do something about it. Because you don't have a COA. How do we know it's real? I don't know. Do some research. But regular people don't want to do research. And that's understandable. It's not their thing.
And like what Mike said, even, or actually showed, was what I was going to bring up, was even the foil serialized, numbers. You could buy those.
Yeah, totally.
Anywhere.
I have some too.
So,
they're right over there.
Yeah, I have a whole roll of them.
There you go. So,
but
you could perforate it and put it on a roll right there.
I needed it because it's something like that. All it says is autographs for Akira certified, and it's got a number that I can track. So if someone does have a question, I only put it on. I got this. I believe I bought this from Garrett. So I have no doubt about it. So I'm more than happy to put my sticker on it and put autographs for Akira's name on it.
Right.
But for Joe Q Public, they have to have that.
Yep.
And it's mind-boggling, but they're not collectors either.
Nope. So don't trust the COAs, guys. Don't go by that. Go ahead, Chase.
No, it's funny is that because there's a card show I go is like a monthly show, and they usually have 5 or 6 guys signing. And once the promoter's always there. Once you go through the line, there's a table at the end, and he has a roll of those little stickers that has his it's cardboard promotions logo on it. And he goes, "Oh no, just slap it on if you want, to authenticate your picture." And I was over there, I was in line, I was watching a guy. He walked over, ripped off probably about 30 of them, and just walked away with them.
Oh, geez.
Because it was just sitting there. He just ripped it and he took off. I'm like, he's just gonna throw it on anything that he has at his house right now.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Just trust the autograph and the seller, not the piece of paper. That's the point of this subtopic. We're going to go ahead and move on to the research aspect and how we do our research. When you see a signature, what do you compare it to? Is there a good database? I always promote Star Tiger as a great database. It's very cheap to subscribe. You get all those TTM addresses, but for me, it's actually more important to see what people are getting in TTM signed and IP especially. It's a great IP database. A lot of stuff uploaded on there. Stuff that you maybe couldn't trust if you just pulled it up on Google. There's a lot of stuff mislabeled on Google, but Star Tiger, you specifically click where you got the signature and how you got the signature. So what do you guys do to research? What tools do you use? And how long do you spend on it? I mean, is it depending on how much maybe the autograph is worth? Are you obviously you're willing to take a chance more if it's a $3 card compared to a $50 card?
I'll Google everything just to pull up as many pictures as possible. Obviously I look to see where they're being posted. I have Star Tiger up, but if you've been in the game long enough, like I bought those Hank Aaron's and I went back and forth, before I pulled the trigger, and I actually won the auction. I took a chance. I got 3 Hank Aaron's. I think I paid like $65 for.
Nice.
So if they come back, I paid through Slab City $15 a piece. So let's say, what is that? 45. I'm in $100 on 3 Hank Aaron's. But if they come back authentic through PSA and they're slabbed, those are now $200 a piece.
Right.
So,
and if the seller, he probably doesn't have a guarantee, but if the seller did have a guarantee, you would be, if they didn't come back authentic, you would only be out the charge of the fee that costs to get certified. That's what I offer my customers because I think that's important. That's a big thing, man. If you get something not authentic, you can get your money back. Like that's huge. So look for that guarantee, people. But yeah, how else do you guys research?
I will actually go on eBay and just search certified autograph of the guy and just compare it that way.
But we know through the Bob Dole experiments, there's some certifieds that are, not real. So,
I trust people. I trust him. No,
fully
no,
trust PSA.
Yeah, no, not even PSA. It's just like Leaf
like the
or
top or
Tops.
Leaf, yeah.
Like
so you're saying like certified and
yeah, not third party ones.
Okay,
I'm
I
talking
gotcha.
actually, inserts that are pulled from packs that are
100%.
certified by the companies.
Yeah, that's
what I go by. Because I
Gotcha.
was actually looking at a Kevin Apier the other day, and I'm like, because he signs it like R.A. Apier,
Right.
not Kevin. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Then I went and looked at his certified stuff pulled from packs, and that's how he actually signs them.
Gotcha.
So that's how I do my comparison.
That's a good way. Yeah.
Hey, Zane, real quick, when you're talking about guarantees, are you talking about the price you paid for it or the price you paid for it and what PSA charged that failed?
No, I wouldn't. No, I would not do the PSA on top. I'd be losing way too much money if people decide to start returning stuff. I've done this since 2013. I've sold autographs, and I've had maybe 2 autographs returned from PSA, like not authentic, and then customers returned them to me. Both were larger signatures. I think one was a Ronald Reagan, and I don't even remember what the other one was. So like the loss on it for a seller is not even that much if you're actually doing your job and making sure you're not selling fakes. Yeah, I don't cover the fee for PSA, but as Mike said, like just the money getting back what you put into the product alone, I mean, that's a big bonus.
Right.
But Chase, do you do any research?
No, not at all. I just go bid on everything.
Get all the good deals.
No, yeah.
I'm getting Mike Trouts for $5, boys. I don't know what you're doing.
I do like what Andy was saying. I go check the certified cards, as well as, if it's somebody that, I know I've seen TTM or something that's just a card I need, then you look for that. Just, go through looking at all the autographs that's selling to see, does it match? Does it not match? Star Tiger is the biggest one, really.
Yeah, that's what I use. Never underestimate forgers also, guys. If you think a player is too small to be forged, you're wrong. Forgers, it takes literally 2 seconds to forge a signature. And if they're doing a smaller player, they're probably going to take less time on it. So it's, $5. $5. So don't be like, well, this person's not that famous, so I mean, it's probably not forged. Yes, there's probably less percentage like chance of it being forged, but it doesn't mean that it's not forged. So take that into account too.
Yeah, I mean, you just turned a 10-cent card into a $5 card.
100%.
But there's also stuff out there that's not authenticated that is absolutely legit and a good deal.
100%.
You got to do the research because sometimes people will mislabel it, like they'll spell the name wrong. Sometimes they don't know what they have, so they say a lot of NBA autographs,
right?
And that's all. They don't put somebody's name. So,
right.
Sometimes it depends on how you search also.
And I will say there's stuff that's borderline, and you don't know. Like yes or no, and you're never gonna know, and you can send it into a PSA or Beckett or whatever, and they're gonna be guessing too because just the evidence isn't there, or it's just like borderline. For instance, my Michael Jackson, like it was at such a good price and sold by somebody that had nothing to do with collectibles. It was the one thing with like antiques and stuff. So I'm like, this is worth taking a chance. Now, there's variations that match. There's variations that don't. This was signed in the 70s, which don't have a lot of examples. So I took a chance, It's worth taking a chance on stuff like that. But you really probably will never know. And even if this gets slabbed, like I'm going to be at like 90% on it or 85% because that they're judging by the same information you're judging by. They just get paid for it. So there's always going to be some iffies in your collection. take chances on stuff that's worth taking chances on. But if you're buying something that's small, there's no reason to take a chance on that.
Just be smart about it.
Be smart. Yeah. Let's move on to shipping. And this is the thing that gets people sometimes. There's a few things to watch here. There's a positive aspect of this and a negative. The negative is always look at shipping because you can get screwed over on it, especially auctions. I found myself screwing myself over a lot on auctions because you see that little bidding price, and that's the one you pay attention to the most. And sometimes I forget to look at the shipping price to add in. I'm like, this is how much I'm going to be paying, because I'm sitting there trying to calculate how much am I willing to go on the bid. Like, that's where your focus is. So sometimes that shipping price slips by you, and it can be astronomical sometimes, especially the out of country stuff, which is usually in italics, so it stands out. But if you don't pay attention to it, sometimes you're paying, $20, $30 on top of what you're paying for the item. So watch that. And then Mike brought up, you can actually combine things. He brought this up before the show, sorry, that you can actually combine things and save on shipping. So ComC, I think, would be the most recognizable thing for this. A lot of people buy stuff from ComC for trading cards. And if you go on eBay, actually, they've changed a lot of their stuff to free shipping, haven't they? But back in the day, everything had a shipping price. So it's $4 on top of the regular price. But if you bought multiple things, everything after was free. So you can clean up, especially when you're buying low-end trading cards. It's almost guaranteed you're going to buy multiples at that point. If it's $4 per card, you're going to buy multiples to save. So what's your guys' experiences with shipping?
Baseball Card Exchange does the same thing. They sell a lot of autograph stuff, and I think they have 3 different accounts. They're so big.
Yeah.
But they'll do the same thing. They're like, boop, it's all combined. And so I usually do 3 or 4 or more from them when I do them, and they're really fast, and
totally
it works out. So
how about you?
The guy I deal with on eBay, I mean, he always charges $3 per card to ship, but he sends it in a bubble wrapper. But that's why I buy multiple, because it's the first one's $3 and each additional is 10 cents.
Right.
So it actually makes me want to buy more.
Exactly. I use the same trick.
That's the thing, because it's like, all right, it's only 10 cents more. It's a $5 card. It's only going to cost me 10 cents on top.
Right.
I'll throw it in my basket. I'll throw this
Exactly.
one, and but he's really good about sending stuff out, and I think his pricing is reasonable. I mean, you come across some guy, but I saw on Mike's Jordan 8x10s on it. It's like $8 to ship it.
Yeah.
I would think if you're buying, a $4,000 pitcher, the shipping would be a hell lot more because
you want to insure it. And,
you want to hand deliver it. Like I would fly out and give it to someone for that.
Yeah. I don't know it's different philosophies on that stuff. Some people, you'd be surprised how some people ship stuff that's worth a lot of money. They're just happy to sell it. They get it out, and they don't even think about the risks of shipping. But yeah, if you're
in the PWE,
dude, you'd be surprised. I've got some very high. Okay, so I got that Warren Buffett signed shirt. I don't know if I showed that on the show. But I have a shirt. Yeah, okay. So I have a shirt signed by Warren Buffett. Like, it's worth like $1,500, right? So I bought it from a guy, and he shipped it in a freaking like car seat box with barely any wrapping, and it's got freaking glass.
Yikes.
I don't know how it got here in one piece, but it did. People just don't think about that stuff sometimes. There's people that are proactive on shipping, and there's people that are lazy, or maybe just don't think about it at all. I don't know. But
what's funny is one guy I was dealing with for a while, and he shipped my stuff out really fast, but he aggravated me every time because the top loader, you always put masking tape across it, and it would take me 20 minutes just to get that tape off to get the card out because I don't want the tape on there.
No, you want painter's tape, guys.
Yeah, I know. This other guy uses painter's tape, and it comes right off. This guy would put like 3 layers of mat, and it used to drive me I stopped buying from him because it just aggravated me way too much.
So let's go over some of the things I've been shipped items in. Cereal box, very common. People will use a cereal box to ship books because I buy a lot of books. Gosh, I've had every box under the sun, actually. If you think about shipping boxes, every like fruit box. I've had things like basically wrapped in a like plastic bag you would get at the store and then taped over the plastic bag. Those are fun because you don't know if you're cutting into the product and you have to cut into it to get into it. I've seen duct tape over priority boxes. That was one that was fun. So, I mean, shipping, it gets crazy when you're dealing with people that just want to get rid of stuff. They'll just get it out the door any way they can. And we actually, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say we had a viewer IM us for
Yes.
the Facebook page.
I was about to bring that up.
Robert, I believe, submitted something, said he got something shipped to him in Saran wrap.
Yep.
Yikes.
Saran wrap, guys. So don't be shocked when you get some bad shipping on eBay. It's kind of their thing. Like Macari is actually worse. If you buy a Macari, it's the amateurs of the amateurs. So it's going to happen. And it's kind of funny when it happens. I make fun of, as long as my product isn't destroyed. Oh, one time I had a book that got mixed in with somebody that was shipping laundry detergent. And so this wasn't the shipper's fault, but it was basically wrapped up in brown paper. It wasn't a great wrap job. But because it was not a great wrap job, somebody else's detergent leaked, got all over the packages. And since mine wasn't in a box, that book was damaged with laundry detergent. It smelled great. Don't get me wrong. It was a great smelling book, but it doesn't help when it's like got goo all over it and stains of the goo. So that became a cut signature. Yeah, shipping, you just got to watch
Did
it,
you get
guys.
your money back on it or anything?
No, because it was, I'm a seller, so I have actual like empathy for those people that like ship something out and something gets damaged by the post office. I'm like, that's the post office. That's not that seller. I'm not going to ding that guy. I get that all the time. Like if the post office messes up, I obviously have to cover it. I think it's bull, but that's how it is. I'm not going to do that to somebody else. So that's just how I roll.
I'll tell you a funny one was a couple of years ago, my post office that I use a lot, they were closed for a day, like on like a Tuesday. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? The next day I go in, I go, what happened? You guys were closed yesterday. He goes, yeah. He goes, we had a package that broke open and we released 50,000 crickets in the building.
Lord.
They didn't realize it was like live animals in it, and it like fell,
nice.
and the package just completely opened. And he said they read the shipping, it was 50,000 crickets. They had to like fumigate the place.
Yeah, and you can ship live animals. A lot of people don't know that. You can, like baby chicks even, and like there's a lot of stuff you can ship, like live animals.
Don't ship an ant though. If you ship ants, you can get into serious trouble.
Really? How did they get my ant farm to me?
Well, it's probably depending on the type of ants it is. I don't know why we need to discuss this, because they're an invasive species.
Is this a Texas thing?
They get
it's
out.
It's gotta be.
No, it's seriously.
We don't like ants in these parts.
Yeah. No, you those red ants.
You can ship them within the state.
Okay.
But yeah, like if you're shipping ants like out of the country or cross country, yeah, you can get into serious.
Make sure you check your TTMs for ants, people. You will get in big trouble if you ship a TTM and it has ants.
I don't know why our shows last 3 hours.
I don't either.
Or if you do ship ants, do your research.
Do your research, guys, on your ants. Make sure it's the right ants. And they're authentic ants. Okay, guys, we're going to move on. I'm cutting it off here. We're moving on from the topic. We're going on to the giveaway winner. The giveaway winner for this show is Aiden W. Congratulations, Aiden W. You have won a authentic signed, I think, Pirates lineup card or
Praise.
There it is right there. So the Brewers,
Padres and Brewers.
Yeah, Padres and Brewers. Okay. So congratulations, Aiden. That'll be going off to you ASAP. And this next giveaway, I believe, is it sponsored?
It is. It is sponsored by Slab City Sports Cards and Collectible. Our friend Garrett and Tiffany, who have a basic submission coming up on June 20th. $15 will get you a basic submission, which will be encapsulated. It looks like this. The card is not graded, but it will say authentic. And this is actually the giveaway this week. This is a 1966 Topps Larry Durker that is encapsulated, authenticated by PSA, which Garrett uses. So if you guys want to get in on the June submission, I believe the cutoff is June 20th. It's $15 basic submission. They will authenticate your card and encapsulate it in this nice little case. PSA, I believe he requires you to submit 3 items as a minimum to get free shipping back to you. So contact Garrett with any questions. That's over at Slab City Sports Cards and Collectibles. The link is on our page, www.graphersaa.com.
And if you guys want to enter to win that Larry Durker, all you have to do is go to, again, our website, graphersaa.com, fill out the form, and answer this question. What do you accept for a COA? So I know our stance on COAs, but I'm interested to see what the community thinks on COAs. Do you actually keep certain COAs? Is there a standard that you go by? Does it have to be a professional company for you to keep it? Or do you keep some, like some people that you buy from regularly? Like, let's say you bought from me regularly and you request a COA every time. If you trust that company, do you keep the COA? If you buy from, Mike, do you keep that COA? I'm interested to see what you guys trust and what you don't trust, or what you keep and don't keep. So answer that question over there, and you'll be entered to win the Larry Durker.
And if you have bought from me and you submit, I will not be offended if you throw it away. I don't care.
Yeah, it's basically it's buyer. It's for the buyers that usually aren't collectors. We've gone over that. If you guys are collectors and you get a COA from us and you throw it away, it's fine. Moving on to the case against nominations, guys. We got 8 people up here. We're going to limit it down to 2. Once you get it down to 2, you guys can go vote on who you want us to scrutinize on the TTM front. And you can vote on that on Facebook and Twitter. So this week we have Steve Young, Amy Sedaris, Ed Asner, Jacqueline Bassett, Jason Alexander, Tommy Chong, Billy Crystal, and Dick Van Dyke. Who we knocking off the list? I'm saying Amy Sedaris and maybe Ed Asner.
Yeah, I think the Asner's gonna go.
Asner's so good with his inscriptions. We can't do that to him.
I don't want to break his heart if he watches this and he gets all sad. And
why do they think they're fake? I don't understand.
I'm Santa. Shining.
Yeah, I wasn't up.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that we learned when we do the case against, there's a chance they'll stop signing directly after we get done doing the segment. So that is a possibility. Tommy Lee.
Right.
So, Ed Asner and Amy Sedaris, cut them?
Good.
I'm good with cutting them.
Okay. So that leaves Steve Young, Jacqueline Bassett, Jason Alexander, Tommy Chong, Billy Crystal, and Dick Van Dyke. I want to leave Dick Van Dyke on. I think Dick Van Dyke I think we should put him in. There's so much talk about it, and I think the community shifted toward a certain way, but it'd be interesting to actually dig into it.
Let's do it before it's postmortem too.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good. So we'll put Dick Van Dyke. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Putting him in there?
Sure.
Okay. So you guys discuss the next one, because since I kind of threw him in the finals. Who do you guys want to see go up against Dick?
I kind of like the Billy Crystal.
Crystal, that's a classic, another classic.
But has he been signing?
Yes, he just got some returns
There's
back.
a couple
with inscriptions, not the stamp.
Yeah, personalized inscriptions that came back.
Yep, which is good evidence. You can go off inscription handwriting.
Really?
Another interesting, Tommy Chong has signed for a long time. That'd be a big one if we were to do some evidence. And I'm not saying I've seen any, but like it'd be interesting. Jason Alexander, that signature change, we talked about that a few shows ago.
I think we should do Billy Crystal. He's put a couple A-listers against each other.
TTM Titans against each other.
Yeah,
some big names.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
No. Plus, I haven't thought about Billy Crystal in a couple of years. So
he hasn't hosted the Oscars in a few
he
years.
hasn't done anything. Right?
That's what he does now. Is he hosts the Oscars? Okay, so everybody's good with Billy Crystal versus Dick Van Dyke. Good.
Yes.
Ding ding.
That's who you guys have to choose from. I'm interested to see who you guys are going to pick. Dick Van Dyke versus Billy Crystal. We know that Billy Crystal has is it auto pen or stamp? I think it's auto pen, right? Yeah.
Stamp, I think,
Stamp.
or
Is it?
Spanky
Yeah.
Taylor.
So he has a stamp, or I think it's a stamp or auto pen. Anyway, we're not going by that. We're going by the inscribed photos that are hand signed. So that's what you're voting on. Who do you want us to see criticize? Who do you want us to criticize on the TTM front the next episode? Dick Van Dyke or Billy Crystal. Moving on, we have Fanatic Feedback, and we actually already mentioned it. Rob sent in that question, or that feedback, basically, that he got in that saran-wrapped card through, I think it was eBay, or maybe it was a Facebook trade. I can't remember exactly which one. But no audio Fanatic Feedback. So, guys, go to our website, graphersaa.com. It's right there. It's right behind me if you're watching the video. Right there. Voicemails, graphersaa.com. Click Fanatic Feedback, record a Fanatic Feedback, and we'll play it on the show. So go do that. Time for the Reaper Report. These are the people that passed away over the last couple of weeks that you may know. Wes Unseld. We have Chris Truesdale. Am I saying that right? Then we have Jimmy Caps, Bobby Morrow, Bonnie Pointer, and Richard Hurd. So those are just a few people that passed away that were celebrities over the last couple of weeks. Actually, my source has a lot of people, but they're minor, so we don't mention them on the show because we'd be here all day listing people that passed away. So I try to pick out the biggest names. Okay, guys, that wraps up the show. It's time for promotions. Chase, starting out with you. Promote your stuff.
Jason Inc. on YouTube. Go to the Graphers AA. Should be a link there. Instagram as well. I got Q&A Wednesday. Today's Q&A will be Q&A number 100. It's a special one, so you might want to tune in or you might not.
I love his QAs, guys. Check them out. They're great. And you use some from like the old days too. So some people passed away, right? Did you have their?
Yeah, well, I've pretty much all the older ones are I've already gone through them.
Gotcha.
I was actually going alphabetical order, like alternating like actor, baseball, football, until I ran out of some. So now it's basically all the newer ones that's been coming in. So
okay, well, we'll go back and watch the old ones too because they're great. Let's go with Troy.
Well, you can find me. I'm still alive and kicking on YouTube and on Instagram as TTM Autograph. Haven't posted in a while. Been kind of concentrating on, losing about 30 pounds since I think we recorded last, or I was on the show. So
congratulations.
Yeah. So been working on that and trying to get, things are still coming in. I got a big stack of stuff, but yeah, TTM Autograph and TTMautograph.com is where you can find me.
So I do this thing called the autograph diet where I spend so much money on autographs I can't afford food. I'm kidding. Okay, let's go with Andy.
Oh, I want to promote eBay.com. I mean, they sell a lot of signed autograph.
They need promotion. Nobody knows about them.
And now, you can try and find me on YouTube.
I'll try to find them, guys. Just guess. Just type in anything.
You're never gonna find me on there. Just
Andy may pop up.
Go on the click on the link on the Autographs Anonymous website, and maybe one of these days you'll actually see an updated video of stuff that I didn't show earlier.
One day.
And once I get motivated, I will do it.
Mike.
Of course, everyone is on graphersaa.com, but if you want one of these bad boys, one of these awesome autographs for here, certified COAs, check out www.autographsforakir.com. I've been getting these back in, so I've been resending to the people saying, you agreed to sign some stuff, so here it is. Please send it back. So hopefully we'll get some 8x10s rolling in. So just something for you guys to think about too. If you guys send cards or 4x6s and don't want to spend money, maybe a autograph RSVP, ask them if they want to send some 8x10s. Just saying.
And if you buy from Autographs for a Cure, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm sure Mike will do it. If you do want a COA and you're a collector, maybe he'll write on it, "This doesn't mean anything," or "This is garbage," and then sign his name. That'd be a fun little piece of memorabilia for you. You could do the same thing for me.
Rose would do.
But you got to buy something from the store. I mean, that's the way it rolls, right? So you can check out bargainhistory.com for my eBay store where we sell autographs and collectibles. Lots of cut signatures, guys. So if you're into doing some matte pieces or just collecting an entire cast, lots and lots of vintage cut signatures right now. Also check out Fabric Fobs, fabricfobs.com. That's basically a keychain with a piece of celebrity clothing in it, personal clothing from classic actors, and then a lot of screen used memorabilia. So go check that out, fabricfobs.com, and graphersAA.com. That's a podcast link. That's where you can find everything. So thanks for listening, guys, and you take care, all of you autograph addicts.